when am I gonna get my raise? That's reasonable, right? You keep talking about this performance review. When's it gonna happen? I've been out here 2 months already, busting my ass every night. I'm tired of your promises for more pay, man. I'm sleeping in a garage.
Good morning. This is LA Talk. I'm Sarah Shea. Great to have you with us. First, we have some big news to announce. Earlier this morning was the official opening of LA's and the nation's first emission-free village in the Echo Park neighborhood. The initiative was first started by community activists concerned with urban and environmental issues. The project was later taken up by the city in an effort to promote green living in anticipation of the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Recently, this group has endeavored to convert the Echo Park neighborhood to permanent and sustainable living in collaboration with city planners, transforming the area into the nation's very first model of a car-free, affordable, and environmentally friendly community. I'm speaking to Rick Gonzalez, one of the first residents of the LA Emission-Free Village.
Thanks for having me.
So, Rick, tell me a little about yourself and how you've been part of the Emission-Free Village project.
Okay, well, I'm Rick, of course. I took 3 buses to get here. I finished high school. That's me. I used to be homeless and now live in our village's communal housing, which used to be a commercial parking garage. I've lived in LA my whole life, but when I turned 17 and left my parents' house, I realized the city doesn't have a place for me. I switched jobs, tried lots of work, even got myself into dire situations. I ended up creating this bike tour of LA, showing people the city's hidden corners. I joined the Emission-Free Living Project a few months ago. I figured affordable housing, no cars, and a community, why not?
These changes are just amazing. I'd love to go there and experience it myself. So, I've heard about this communal garage living space before, but what's it really like to live there?
It's been incredible. The parking lot was a ghost building after the neighborhood committed to emission-free living. All that land going to waste. But now we've re-inhabited the space, 50 of us, and not just single people. There's couples there, children, families. All the private car slots have been converted to communal spaces now. Gardens, living rooms, study spaces, kitchens, performance stage, where people hang out, connect. We each have our own room, just enough space for basic living, and we share the rest of the space. I love it. The space for myself, the vibes, and most of all, the people.
That sounds wonderful. Can you tell me what a typical day in the garage is like?
Well, you say it's Saturday morning. You'd wake up to our vertical garden work planning session. People get together and talk about what plants and produce we could plan for the season in our garden. Then some of us gathered to prepare food for our open lunch cafe. We call it People's Kitchen. Basically, we open our doors to the community for lunch dishes and drinks at really cheap prices as a way of giving back and reaching out. Folks of all walks of life come to it: students, backpackers, tourists, workers, etc. And then in the evening, we usually make the performance stage available on the rooftop for community artists, queer folks, folks of color, or for festivals for kids and family bonding. It depends, but it's always a good time. We even began a mobile shower initiative that provides showering facilities on old school buses to help people stay cool while they're biking in LA weather.
So tell me a little bit more about this no car situation in Echo Park. What changed and how does it work? How many people are using it?
Yeah, right. Honestly, a lot has changed for the good. We now have this free bike sharing program called Bike Library. It lets people check out bikes at zero cost for their daily commute, and all the bikes come with preloaded GPS and helmets. On top of that, all the streets in LA have separate bike lanes and traffic lights for bikes, which makes biking so much more safe and less worrisome. The streets look so different also. In Echo Park, street vendors, farm stands, other local businesses, they're making use of the extra car lanes that went out of use. You can find communal street life at every block.
Sounds great. On your personal website, you describe your job as offering a people's bike tour to Los Angeles. Can you tell us more about that and how it's linked to your life in Echo Park?
Oh, what I do is very much enabled by the city's biking initiative, especially in Echo Park. Basically, I do an alternative tour of LA to groups of people who want to experience the city differently, not to get lost in all the glamour and fantasy that LA stands for. I show them the places that are de-emphasized or even left out of the map in a slow motion. I also discover the hidden narratives of these places, like how ordinary people, working people, people of color, how they've lived and created these places their own. I feel like it's important work, and I'm only able to do it with all the new biking programs and expressways in Echo Park and beyond.
Thank you, Rick Gonzalez, one of LA's emission-free village's first residents. Rick, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.